If contesting the result or the election result becomes problematic, a new election should be held. And that is Falana speaking. Falana is a renowned human rights lawyer in Nigeria, an experienced and old-time lawyer as well. And he is saying here that if contesting the results of the elections becomes problematic, then a new election should be held. Exactly. That is if they be ready to do it. Okay. According to Vanguard, respected lawyer Femi Falana's son has highlighted concerns about the delay in processing petitions contesting the results of Nigeria's presidential election. He advised Nigeria to think about holding fresh elections if challenging the result proved challenging. And the re-challenging the result is also proving challenging. Yeah. These remarks were made by Falana during his keynote speech at the Nigerian Bar Association Law Week program in Benin City, Edo State. At the Presidential Electoral Court in Abuja, Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People Democratic Party are now contesting Bola Tinubu victory. Yes. So Falana gave examples of similar petitions that were decided upon within 14 days by the Constitutional Court and Supreme Court of Kenya and Angola, respectively. Can you imagine? In Kenya and Angola, they dealt with such issues within 14 days. But Nigeria, 3 months, that are still dragging. They have not even started. However, it takes around 8 months for the result of the presidential and general elections in Nigeria to be confirmed, compared to 10 months for the results of the governorship election. So according to the Vanguard Daily, several Nigerians have expressed their disapproval with Falana's remark. Can you imagine? The people that are expressing disapproval, what are they thinking? Let's be frank about it. Okay? If for the judiciary to determine the fate of this petition in court is, if the judiciary is finding it very difficult or very challenging, then let us hold general election. And the way it is, some people are already predicting that there might be a general election, okay, either to conduct general election again or to rerun the presidential election again. One of those things is what some people are expecting to happen, okay? And even if it happens, that's fine, because the way it is now, okay, it's going to be very difficult to declare Atiku or Peter Obi president, even when they lose in the court. So the question is, who is going to win this case now? Is it Tinubu, is it Peter Obi, or is it Atiku? Okay, the way it is now, what election result are you going to use to declare it? Because the main issue here is that the election was not credible, records are mutilated and not reliable, and a lot of wrong things have happened. And INEC does not have a comprehensive report that can be used to find a winner of the election. And so if we go by that, it therefore means that the presidential election, should be declared invalid by the court. Since INEC is refusing to do that because they are operating according to the dictates of APC leadership and Tinubu himself, then the best thing to do when election gets to this level, where both the election results are mutilated and unreliable, where documents are not found or to support the data that has been published, then it means that the election is invalid. And so if it is invalid, the next thing that should be done is to cancel the election and do a rerun. And that is what everybody is saying. And that is exactly what Femi Falana is trying to say here, that if it's becoming too challenging, okay, to conclude the case, then a fresh election should be conducted. Okay, in Kenya and I think in Kenya and the Uganda, okay, in Kenya and Uganda also, it took 14 days. Okay, Kenya and Angola, not Uganda. In Kenya and Angola, it took 14 days to settle this kind of petitions in court. But in Nigeria, it takes 8 months to settle presidential election petitions, which is damn too long. okay, which is damn too long. How can you hold a court case for 8 months, rather, not 18 months, for 8 months? Now, wow, this is quite unfortunate. And then it takes about 10 months to also handle the petitions, tribunal petitions concerning governorship elections. So what Falana is saying, rather, if it's confusing or becoming challenging for the tribunal to make their decisions or pass their judgment, then let the whole election be conducted again, and that is it. For me, as a person, I will want the election to be conducted again. The reason is because right now, INEC record is not credible, it's not intact, it's not reliable. INEC does not have enough record or data to find a winner of that election. That is it. And when it gets to that level, like I said earlier, it should be declared invalid, it should be declared null and void, and let fresh election be conducted. I know that some school of thought will say, why would you want to waste money to conduct a fresh election? Because we know it is expensive to conduct an election, starting from the planning to scheduling and up to the conduct of the election, result collation and declaring the winner. It's not just a joke, okay? But when you find yourself in this kind of situation, what do? You don't have an option. Rather, you have to bite the bullet again and then redo the election again. That is it. Okay. The only problem is that while we are trying to redo the election, what is his name? Tinubu will still be in power. So how would Tinubu manage a rerun of an election that is seeking to remove him from office? It's almost practically impossible, because he will not release the fund, he will not set up the committee, he will not obey court order, he will not cooperate with the judgment. That is it. Because it's against him and is seeking to get him out of office. So he will never support that kind of judgment. And so even when the Supreme Court or whichever court passes that kind of judgment, the judgment will not be obeyed. Rather, it will be frustrated by the executives and the legislators. Because the legislators right now are rubber stamp legislators that are loyal to Tinubu. And so the both parties will just kill the idea, or not even obeying the court order, if the tribunal or the Supreme Court eventually rule that the election should be held again. So that is going to be the challenge. It's not even the money alone. It's about, people that are meant to support the rerun providing that support, because it's going to be the government of the day that they are being in position, is being contested, will also be in position to conduct the rerun. So they will never support it. They will never support it. So that tells me that Nigeria is still far away from resolving her electoral issues, because the people that are in power are not ready to cooperate, are not ready to support, and it's just going to be very, very bad one for everybody. Okay, but that is what Falana is saying, that if it's becoming challenging, okay, if challenging the election outcome at the tribunal is becoming challenging for the tribunal, and then election should be run again, and that is it. Okay, so thank you for listening, and let's have your comment on this matter. How do you see what Falana is saying? Is it sustainable? Is it the best route to go, or is there an alternative for this court that is ongoing?